Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. Let's do a mic check quickly. Yep, I'm not muted, that is good news, because I am recording a little bit spontaneously here. I've just logged in from when I was last playing. You can see I've been doing a little bit more of creating the wastelands over on this side, and I was planning on doing a really big time lapse where I recorded everything and then edited it all into one big thing where I could show you the last area of the wastelands going all the way around the sides, you know, being done in a short little time lapse. And I screwed up the first recording of that. I got the wrong camera angle, and then I thought, sod it, I'm just going to continue and do this. I've done enough time lapses of me, you know, placing and destroying blocks already, so we are going to skip that idea. Or maybe not, I don't know, I might get further around and decide to do it, we'll see. But for this bit over here, I'm just going to leave it like it is. So you can kind of see I've done just a little bit over here. Didn't have much time to work on that. That is because I've been extremely busy lately, and this episode is going to be kind of different because of that. You know, I haven't had much time to think about what I want to do, let alone do I really have the time to do much either, and that's just because I am a busy bee doing lots of different projects. Now, you would have seen one of those already. There was a mini game that I made with my friend Ease that came out on Friday, and this is coming out on a Tuesday. Now, I'm actually recording this episode before you'll see. No, wait. Before the previous episode that you have watched. And I did that last week as well, and that's just because I've been really busy lately with the server and other things as well, and I wanted to go over to the 1.7 area and do things over there. So, in order to do that, I would need to be recording this episode earlier in the week. So, on the other day when I record, it will be closer to the time that it's released, if that makes sense. So today is a Wednesday. This is when I usually record the Saturday episode, and then between Thursday and Friday I record the Tuesday episode. So it's Wednesday and I'm recording Tuesday's episode. And that's what I did last week as well. And for the last 2 weeks, my Tuesday episodes, when they've gone up live, YouTube has had a problem with them. And a lot of you will know what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you didn't see them because I re-uploaded the episodes. But there was some sort of bug that stopped people from watching the video. And right as I'm trying to cook dinner, I have to re-render the video, re-upload it, retype in all of those details and make sure it's okay and publish it. What a nightmare it has been. It really has. It's been a little bit chaotic lately, and today I feel like I just need to do a little bit of talking and get that off my chest. I don't really have an idea. Well, I do have an idea of what we're going to be doing this episode, but we will get to that in a little bit. First of all, what I'd like to do is talk about how the base is coming along here, because I am... Now, we use the term OCD, and Joe Hills pointed out to me that you really shouldn't use that because that is actually a clinical term for someone who has obsessive compulsive disorder. I do not have that, you do not have, well, some of you watching may have that, but the most of us don't have that. And what we have is a tendency to like things being neat and organised, and so because of that, you know, a building can frustrate us if it's one block out and then we want to rebuild it, etc, etc. So what's frustrating me at the moment, and this is not OCD, is this void fog. It's been playing on my mind. I've been thinking about how this base is coming along, how it's coming together, and how much I hate this void fog. I really do. I despise it. It's awful. It shouldn't be in the game, but it is, so we have to deal with it. Now, the thoughts were passing through my mind recently that I could perhaps rebuild all of this about 12, maybe a little bit more blocks than that higher, and that is ludicrous. I cannot do that. The fact that I've been thinking about that kind of worries me because that's how much it's bothering me, so I kind of need some support from you guys. Just let me know that it's okay to to build it down at this height and that I shouldn't be rebuilding things like this, because with a little bit of encouragement I'll be able to get past that, you know, because it's really playing on my mind. This void fog is going to be a problem. It's always going to be causing a problem because it means that when we go in this direction, we can't have a long corridor going down here because we'll have to constantly install the void fog lamps, and they're just going to interrupt and ruin any kind of projects that we want to do down here. So the first thing that's going to happen at the end of each of our intersections is we need a way for the player to jump up a whole bunch of blocks. Now, we can still see the void fog at this level here, so we have to go a little bit higher. I think we have to go about 3 or 4 blocks before that will no longer be a problem. So we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe we have to build a staircase that goes, and I've got the instant mine, haven't I? Up to that kind of height. So that bit right there would be the top of your walking platform, you know, for your corridor. So at each end of these, rather than being able to see down a nice corridor of all the farms and things that I have planned for this project, you're going to have to go up some stairs, and then it's like, well, why did you come all the way down here to go up some stairs again? It's annoying the hell out of me. It really is. I hate the void fog, and I really need to stop babbling on about it, because I'm pretty sure most of you understand my point. We do have some more ender pearls, that is good. Always got to be careful with how many I have when I'm trying to get in and out of this place, and I've got a feeling... Did I take this apart? No, I didn't. I thought last episode I might have taken this apart. I think that was the plan, because I was going to build the ender pearl elevator, which I might do that this episode. I'm still trying to figure out what exactly it is I want to do, but I'm wrestling with the idea of rebuilding that down there, which is ludicrous. And if you're wondering why did I decide to build that so low down, it's because I wanted to make use of the bedrock. And I've come all the way back up here and just remembered there is one other thing that I wanted to do quickly, and I think it's the blue side that we need to go to. And I am not prepared. I don't have any signs. And we got no wood. Okay, right. I need to find some signs. I think there might be some over here. Okay, got some signs, and these are the names that we're thinking about, and I've got a few more to add here. So the first one we're going to put on its own sign is Epicenter. I really like that name. Another suggestion from the comments. In fact, all of these are from the comments. And now I have another Thor that I've decided to group together because they are also band names, all of which I quite like. So, well, with the exception of this one, Sanctuary, and I'm spelling that wrong already. This, I do believe, is a symphonic metal band called Sanctuary. Although if you're going to pick one word, one word words, one word names, then you're probably going to come up with a lot of band names. So I quite like that one, Sanctuary. However, these other bands I'm very fond of. Oasis, Nirvana, and Genesis are all, famous big bands, and they're all quality names that we can use down here. And Oasis and Nirvana kind of mean a similar thing as well. But there you go, some more name suggestions. I am really fond of those last three, and I don't know, it'll be some time before we ever come to picking the one that I want. But I'm just kind of waiting. I don't want to rush into picking one. If you keep commenting, I'm sure someone will come up with the perfect name at some point, like Avalon was with the old island. And then when I see that name, I'll be able to pick it. Anyway, we're heading back up here to talk about the desert temple. Now, because I'm not going to be doing anything here, or at least I don't plan to so far this episode, it means you can all vote and let me know what you think about this desert temple right here, because I saw some people suggesting that we should actually be building something different. We could be building a castle on the surface or something. Look at this little guy. Oh, he's trying to get to the villages, isn't he? Let's kill him. Bam, there you go. So, yeah, there were some suggestions that we could perhaps build something else out here, like a big castle, and I could get together with some people on my server and probably come up with something that looks really great. Now, already I've got a few ideas. We could build a really big and grand castle, or we could build something a little decrepit that's falling apart that would really kind of fit in with the Wastelands theme. And this sandstone, desert temple is kind of obnoxious, which I do like, standing in the middle of this Wastelands area, but I think you guys should vote on it. I want to count up all of the comments that I get and just figure out what to do, because we need to make a decision, basically. And another reason to switch to the temple as well is because did I just say temple? To the castle. Because we had these sky lamps, and I didn't like how they were sitting on the outside here. And so on my creative server, I was going around rebuilding this and playing around with putting these in different positions. And there's really not a lot of flexibility with this desert temple that we have if we want to change the positions of those. However, if we go and build a castle, we would have a lot more flexibility because we'd be building around our sky lamps, and then we could position them so they're out of sight. But that's just me going over the top with little things like that wind me up. I really got to get past that sometimes. And I've got to say, I'm really not too bothered about this now. So we'll put it down to a vote, leave a comment, let me know what you want, and then we'll make a decision, and we could end up rebuilding this into some sort of castle. By the way, there are two other things that I forgot to mention. First of all, another name suggestion for the base down below was the Rainbow Abyss. Now, that's an awesome name. I don't think I would take that one too seriously, but I thought I'd mention it as a funny little name right there. And the other thing is that I also left a sign with the diamond and 2 gold blocks for Ijevin. He's come along and taken those, and he's deposited some mushrooms as well. So I decided to put this glass around the outside for now, and so we got ourselves some mushrooms. Okay, so what we are going to be doing this episode is a run for some diamonds. Now, we did this quite some time ago. We tried a few different techniques in between episodes, and then we came up with what seemed to be the best one possible, and during that I'd done something very silly and done all of my mining at the wrong height. So I kind of gave up on it then, and today I kind of feel like doing something like that, so I thought it'd be a good idea. What I'm going to do is record the whole thing, and then if anything interesting happens at any point, I'll edit that into the video and let you know about it. But it will be a case of picking a location and then doing this. So I'm just getting things together. Now, if you haven't seen the speed mining technique for getting diamonds before, what we do is we take a couple of beacons, we put haste 2 on one, speed 2 on another. And thinking about it, we could just take like 4 beacons and add the other effects as well. We could have resistance and regeneration and strength as well. But that might be going over the top. I'll think about that. So we're going to be picking a location for our beacon, somewhere that we haven't been before and no one else has been. So when we place that down at the diamond levels, there's going to be loads of them around for us to get. So using the speed effect, we can move as fast as possible. Using haste, we can instantly mine blocks with efficiency 5 pick, which is also going to have silk touch. So what we're going to do is place down that beacon and then blitz through all of those blocks in one direction for as far as we can go, which will be limited by the beacon range for the instant mining effect. So as soon as that runs out, that's when we know to turn back around. So when we turn back around, we're going to dig to the side a little bit, and then we're going to go all the way back across to the other side of the beacon range. So by doing that, we're basically going to be covering the entire area around the beacon at the diamond level and kind of strip mining through it all to get those diamonds. Now, because we use a silk touch pick, it means if ever we get a diamond, we don't accidentally break the ore, and then we can pick up whatever ones we find and bring them back. So as well as that, I'm also going to be using night vision potions to make this nice and easy so we don't have to do it in the dark. Fire resistance as well in case we run into lava, which is quite a likely thing to happen, and some regeneration in case we get into sticky situations with some mobs. Now, like I said, we did this before. I dug at the wrong height and that kind of demotivated me. So this is going to be the fastest technique for doing this, and I think the benchmark has been set in 50 minutes. You can cover the entire area, and that's before we were using speed 2. So hopefully we'll be able to do this in maybe 40 to 45 minutes. And the other thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to be very smart and bring with me some redstone blocks and some fences so we can do a little bit of x-raying beforehand just to see what the area is like, because the last one that I did, there was just loads of lava everywhere and it really slowed me down. So hopefully we can pick an area with maybe not a lot of caves and not a lot of lava. And where are my redstone blocks? There they are, and we got 2 of them right there. Excellent. So yeah, hopefully we'll get a lot of diamonds from this. I just need to double check that I have everything ready, make sure I have enough potions, and then we will go and scout a location. Well, I've spent quite some time exploring, and I think we found a decent location here. There doesn't appear to be a lot of lava. Now, compared to everything else that I've been seeing, this is not a lot of lava at all. So if we go directly down from here, there's only a couple of pockets of it close by, and those ones, I'm not really sure how far they are away from here. I think they're actually a little bit out of range. So this is the spot that we're going to dig down from. It's now night time as well, which isn't good, but the whole time that I spent exploring, I was wondering, you know, should we just get on with it? Because there's diamonds down there, we're spending time exploring, we could be getting diamonds, and we found the right location now. But anyway, we have ended up over here. Does anyone recognise this? This is the ice tray that I built quite some time ago. Never done any automation with this with redstone or anything like that. And one of the other things that I was thinking about when I was exploring is, should I go into the nether and just take a random nether portal? And then I thought, well, you know, most of these portals lead to people's bases where they've probably gone underground and done some caving, etc. Of course, there was one portal that wouldn't have been that, and it is the one that we have ended up at. So that is pretty ironic, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to sleep through the night, then I'm going to go over to the other side of this place. Can I not place it directly on snow? That's interesting. Okay. And yeah, then we're going to dig down and set up those beacons. Beacons are set up and I'm almost ready to start, and the reason that I have the F3 screen open is because I was just thinking about the beacon range being 50 blocks. We actually have this in a pretty decent position for what I want to do, but if you were to put this at, let's say, 850 and Z 450, then when you go this direction for 50 blocks you're going to get up to 900, and then it's going to be the end of the beacon range, and when you go in that direction, it's 800 will be the end of the beacon range, which could be very useful. Now, when you're digging like this, the F3 screen is kind of big and bulky, and a while ago I was using Alex's mod where he had made it so just the coordinates appear in the very top left corner, and there's not a whole bunch of stuff getting in the way. Now, if I still had that working in 1.7, I would definitely use that right now. Not sure if I'm going to use this or not. We'll find out when I'm digging if I feel like doing it. But it's a really good way to, figure out where the end of the beacon range is, because what usually happens is you go a little bit further because the effect lasts for a little bit longer, and I haven't set these two up just yet. And then you have to kind of turn around and come back and figure out where the beacon range is again. And that always wastes a little bit of time. And the whole point of doing this is to cut out as much time with things like that as you can and get these beacons as fast as possible. But anyway, I'll double check that I have everything that we need, but we are practically ready to go. Oh, removed an iron block. Whoopsie daisy, let's put that back. And also, we're going to block off where we've been because, of course, mobs will now be able to spawn in those areas. So I did a check when I was on the other side, and when we get to this bit right here, 900 blocks, we are out of range. And there you go, you can see the haste going down. But if we step back over here, in range, then it goes back up again. So that is actually really useful. I'm going to do this with the F3 screen on, that's for sure. We will take the lapis. That is one other thing I will pick up on the way. Been going past redstone. If ever I need that, I can always come back to this place and have a look again. But no, so far I've not seen any diamonds, which is kind of worrying. And right as I say it, there they are. Excellent. Woohoo! More diamonds. Excellent. Let's take these. That is the second bunch that we have found. And let's continue on. And we need to eat. I've been holding down control, and that's been not doing much because we need to eat, as I said. But we have found some more diamonds. This is the third lot now. Excellent. We will take all of those, of course. Oh, alright, let's continue. Whoa, 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 whoa. That almost caught me out. Let's get rid of this before it becomes a problem. There we go. Excellent. Lapis, we will take that, and I gotta say, playing with the F3 screen on isn't so bad. I kind of thought it would get in the way, but do you know what? It doesn't at all, really. Because I'm looking right at the centre of the screen, and yeah, that's where everything's happening when you're doing this. Wait, that's the wrong way. I'm supposed to go this way now. Almost went back on myself. Look, there you go. Okay, my potion effects are wearing out. We're gonna have to drink some more. And I've just noticed that I've gone through pretty much half of my pick here. That is crazy. Half of it already. Right, and always drink the night vision potion first, which is not what I just did. But if you do that, it means you'll see the visual indicator for your potion effects running out. And so if you're falling into lava, you're still going to have a little bit more time to deal with that. Hey, more diamonds. Is that the fourth lot we found? I don't think we found some for a while. But we will gladly take these. It looks like there's quite a few there. We are now up to 22. That's not bad at all, is it? Okay, that would appear to be the furthest the range goes of the beacon in this direction. And we've been going across this way. So now what we want to do, there's that sprint effect, is come all the way back to the middle, which will be around 850. And then quickly dig all the way back through here. Now we might encounter some mobs doing this because they've been spawning in the paths behind us. In fact, we should have a little bit of a look. There you go, there's a creeper wandering in the other direction. So we want to get through here as quick as possible, really. And somewhere above some of this gravel, there is some lava. We want to watch out for that, but we should be okay getting back now. Shouldn't be too much further to go. And I can hear a zombie, and he's attacking me. Come on. There we go. Right, now let's block that off. And the other areas, I think, are already blocked off as well. Where'd the iron go? I don't know. I will repair that, don't worry. And there it is. There's the other bit that we need to block off as well. Woo! More diamonds at last. Doesn't feel like we got on that many this time round. That's the first lot on this side, and there was already one there, so that's 6. Not going so good now, and Apparently we are out of range. Oh, we're at the end of a tunnel, so we need to come back. Ha! It's a good thing I went a little bit further then, isn't it? Okay, let's continue. Oh, my pick's almost run out as well, so that's something else I've got to keep in mind to make sure that doesn't break. We might have to go and do some repairing or grab another pick halfway through this. Oh, I went about 30 blocks over that time. I wasn't paying attention at all. Right, let's do this. And there we go, more diamonds. That's what I'm talking about. That looks like quite a few. I'll take those. See if there's any more around here. Woohoo! More diamonds! Excellent. It's always a nice surprise when doing this. Even though you know you're going to find them eventually. Okay, I've got myself another 2 silk touch picks. These are the last 2 I have with efficiency 5, so after this I'm going to have to spend a long time at the Enderman farm repairing everything. Let's grab a couple more potions here. And we want to drink the night vision first. But I don't think we've got much time left really. I think we might be able to do this in about 35 minutes is my guess at the moment. And I need a couple of these blocks just to put down behind me like that. Make sure no mobs come back into here. And I've closed up all of the little... yeah, you know what I'm talking about, these things. Because of that. Perfect, right. Anyway, let's continue. Diamonds! Woohoo! Let's grab these ones. Excellent. We're doing good. Aha! Found a cave, and someone has been here because there are torches. But we do not want to spend too much time having a look around. We actually want to continue with what we're doing here. And I just found a little bit of lapis as well, so we're going to pick that up. Make sure I've got room in the inventory for it as well. Yep, plenty of room, that's good. Alright, let's continue. Oh, that is it. We are actually out of range. Yes, 350 because the other one is centered on 300. So we used a little bit more of that pick. We were basically almost finished. And I forgot to note, I was supposed to make note of where that corridor was so we could find it again easily. But if we just go back on ourselves, we'll be able to find that. And it won't take long till we're out of here, although we're going to encounter a few mobs by the looks of it. Ah, take that. So we're done, and what did I say earlier in this video? That I thought it would take about 45 to 40 minutes. That took 27 minutes. 27 minutes worth of digging around. Now obviously you have to set up a beacon and do all of that kind of stuff each time you do this, but I like to see, you know, how quickly we can do that once we've done the setting up stuff. So we only got 45 diamond ore this time. That's a little bit disappointing because previously we've gotten just around a stack. However, where I've been going up to the edges and mining up to 800 and then going to the right and then going back down again so we stay within the range of the beacon, I haven't been mining those extra areas at the end of each of those corridors, and there are quite a lot of corridors that we reached the end of. And towards the end there I did start, you know, digging a little bit further on, just having a quick look, and I reckon for all those times you go down to the end a little bit further you'll probably find 1 or 2 more little veins of diamond ore. But that's pretty good, I say. And I think we should go back to the base, we should break all of this up, see how much we get, and then we're going to have to spend a load of it on repairing these picks, but all in all I'd say that's pretty good. It's a little bit strange, but every time that I've come up here, none of this ice in the middle has frozen over, and when I look around it kind of feels like, is this the same as each time I've walked past this? Now the only thing that I can think of is between 1.6 and 1.7 with the changes to the biomes. Perhaps the water doesn't now freeze in this biome at this level. But I haven't seen a single block, and a good example of that is we've been in the area for a while because we've been underground. I've been up here a couple of times going back and forth between the nether, and these strips have stayed exactly the same. So none of the water blocks here have turned into ice, which is kind of worrying, and a good thing we never did, you know, some fancy redstone stuff over here. It was just a case of digging out the dirt and filling it with water, because it would appear that that is now broken. I am definitely going to have to do some investigating and find out what's going on there. So while I was doing that digging, I did have some time to think, and I think I am being a little bit dramatic with all of this stuff. You know, I've got to stick to the plan really. If we're going to keep rebuilding things, talk about rebuilding all of that down below, we're just not really going to get anywhere with this project. And I think a lot of what's going to go on in this project is going to happen underground, and maybe it doesn't matter too much about what's on the outside. I will of course though await your feedback, but I'm feeling like maybe we should just stick to the plan and stick with this desert temple that we have on the outside, which doesn't really look bad at all. It's just that, I don't know, I was a little disappointed with the whole lamps. But I'm not gonna go on about that anymore. We've talked about that enough. We're gonna come back over here, and I am gonna break up these diamonds. We will do it outside, although they're probably not gonna fall off the sides, are they? Let's get a whole bunch of those there, and a whole bunch below. In fact, I'll place these and be back with you in a second. Look at that, I've got one left. 4 rows and one more. Right, so this is your opportunity to guess. If you guess the right amount, you win absolutely nothing at all. Anyway, let's go. Let's do this. This is what I've been waiting for. All of these diamonds, look at them. They are precious, precious diamonds, and we are getting loads of them right now. This is awesome. Always enjoy doing this. And you always got to do it on camera as well. Can't do them off camera. It's not allowed. Okay. I don't think any fell off the edges. And that is all of them. Let's just have a quick look over there. So we got a stack and 37. Let's craft that into blocks. I think we might now have enough for a whole stack of diamond blocks, which in the last series of Hermitcraft I threw into lava, although I felt like it didn't count because it happened right at the very end. We are actually a little bit short of that. No, we're exactly on it. I thought I had 50, apparently I had 53. Awesome, we now have a stack of diamond blocks. We've got enough to make one more. However, I'm going to need some of those diamonds and probably some of these to do some repairs, because I can get picks to trade from trading with the villagers to repair these ones. But these guys, these cost 3 diamonds each to repair, and the silk touch ones as well. Wherever I put them, I think they're in here. Yeah. So I'm off to the Enderman farm to do some repairing. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. I know it's not the same as usual, doing loads of building, a little bit more talky, but I just needed to do something like that, you know, have a bit of fun doing some mining for diamonds. I kind of need a break at the moment. Just been really, really busy, but next episode we will get back to things as normal. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.